It's Girl Boss Lena.
I'm Bond Girl Jessica.
And I'm Boss Babe Kealah. And you know what that means. It's Whine
Whine
Down
Down
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay, so I got my cup. Okay, it was on the beat. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, it was actually. How'd you do that?
I don't know how I did it. I just did it. I'm jacked up on coffee, y'all. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So late in the day on coffee.
On the beach,
All right, so. Oh, that's stupid. I'm not doing that one. Sorry.
Okay.
What? There's no rules to this. All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's go. Is it jealousy or just being wise when you don't trust your partner's just a friend? Oh, baby, you got what I need.
One more time?
You say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Okay,
So,
sorry. I gotta finish the song. Is it jealousy or just being wise when you don't trust your partner's just a friend?
Oh yeah,
it's just a friend.
It's being prudent. It's being prudent.
You, Jessica.
I feel like it depends on the situation.
Just in general, like, okay. I got a quick story.
Story time.
So for example, I'm gonna let the puppies out the room.
That's your example. Okay.
Okay. Out the room, pups. Come on. Come on and go out.
It's not for puppy ears.
Go see daddy. Go see daddy. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, and it turned out to be nothing, but as the wife, I was like, bump that. So my husband has a friend from his job who he used to give rides home to. I didn't know that. And it was a woman. And then I found out, because he don't like people eating in his car. So he said to me, oh yeah, so-and-so was in the back seat eating some chips. And I'm like, put on the brakes. Who was eating in your car? And why was they eating in your car? Because it was somebody's grandchild. So I'm like, why
the
are
grandkid was there too?
I was like, why are you giving this person a ride home? And it's been happening for a few weeks now. And this is the first that I'm hearing about it. Oh, well, I don't give a shit if they live on the way. That doesn't have anything to do with the price of tea in China. For reals. And so,
tea party.
And not at all. That tea either.
Just a little time.
And so I was like, and he's like, well, it was, So I said to her, no, ma'am, he will not be giving you a ride. I didn't mean it. I don't care. If he meant you, it don't matter, because the wife didn't know. And if the wife didn't know, why didn't the wife know? The wife should have known. There should have been full transparency there. So if I decided when I was working to give some ninja a ride home just because I was trying to be nice, do you think that would have went over real cool? Nah, bro, we don't play them games.
Well, I guess my question is, why didn't he tell you to begin with? That's the first thing. It's like,
that's the first thing. So that's why I'm like, no, it wasn't going to happen for me, because not only there was no transparency on either end, and I'm finding out because of some damn chips in the back seat. That to me is not. And like I said, it wasn't anything. And, but when it was told to the person that they couldn't give them a ride, I can't give you a ride home anyway because my wife don't want me to. No, it's because you shouldn't be doing it. So like I said, there was nothing.
Jessica, what do you have to say? Because I feel like there's some words going on behind them eyes of yours.
I'm just thinking it through. Like, I don't have a husband, so this isn't my area of expertise. But It is weird that he wouldn't say hey, I'm giving somebody a ride home. Like that's the weird part.
I feel
And
like
he's like,
there should have been communication on that end, especially
Yeah.
like,
Especially
ooh, I
because
got a
that
story for
he
y'all too, but I'll wait till Lena's done.
but it was just like I said, there was nothing there to it. And I
Yeah.
know the person, but that wasn't the point though. The point is that it was kept a secret, or it wasn't you didn't think enough of it to say something if it wasn't a secret. But
No
again, if I had pulled that same thing, it wouldn't have gone down like that. You know what I'm saying? There would have been a whole argument, and you got some other man in your car and blah 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 blah. So I don't mind having friends. That's one, that's fine. But when there's other, you going hanging out, or you going someplace, or you giving rides, and you doing stuff without your significant other person knowing, I need to know why. Right. So that's kind of, like I said, nothing was going on, but mm-mm, mm-mm,
So I have my ex for a reason, right?
mm-mm.
Anyway, he had this little friend from before we got married. They were like good friends or whatever, and that's fine. But I do know that they used to kind of like each other.
And, right.
So I'm like, okay, well, this person
Automatic.
now,
Automatic.
this person now is like, had a boyfriend or a fiance or whatever. I don't think her and that fiance ever got married, but whatever. Anyhow, was calling my husband on the phone. So I was coming home from work.
That's what. Okay.
Hold on,
right.
I'm not even there yet.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the couch talking on the phone. Like I used to see my brothers talk to girls on the phone, like like on the couch, all in the
chilling, right?
Talking, and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" "Oh, I'm talking to so and so." "Why are you talking to so and so?" Like in a low tone, huddled up in the couch. Like I don't understand that. So anyway, I'm like, "Don't she got a dude?" That's my first question. Don't she got a dude?
Right.
Like, where her
Right.
dude? Why can't she call her dude? Yeah,
she
let
could talk
her
to.
call her dude. So
right.
anyway, it's not like that. She was just telling me what's going on with them and da 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 da. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop you right there, because anytime a female starts telling you there's problems that they have going on,
okay, so that's the
red flag. That's a big giveaway.
That's what I'm saying.
So I had to have a conversation with little old girl and be like, "Why are you calling my dude and telling him about your problems? Like, I don't know you like that. You don't know me like that. I don't really feel comfortable." And how does your dude feel? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. How would your dude feel if he knew that you were calling
if he knew
to him on the phone about whatever problem y'all got going on? You need to be taking that
to get right.
Right? Okay. So then come to find out, I told her to stop calling. I'm like, don't be calling him. She called at 5 o'clock in the morning when she knew he was on the road. That face.
See, so that's being underhanded and sneaky. Yeah, that's.
Well, she called him. He didn't call her. She called him.
But it doesn't matter though.
I had to be like, are you kidding me right now?
That's just respect thing. Yeah.
So yes, I'm big on respect. If you tell me like, I come from this with I have guy friends, right? I am at home girl. I'm like a girl. I play video games. I do all that stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. If you tell me I don't feel comfortable with you talking to my husband, I'm gonna respect that. Okay. I ain't trying to break up no marriage. I'm please, I am not that one. I don't, that's you. Don't call me. I won't call him. That's, perfectly fine with that. Whatever. But my husband also knows everything that I do anyway.
Right.
So we have communication on that. But that really sent me
through. So has this ever happened to you before, Jessica?
What, somebody coming at me crazy?
Somebody, it's not even pushing up, because I don't want to say somebody trying to push up on your man, because that's not really what it is. But what bothers me is that women, we know what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Men may not.
And they don't. Oblivious. They weren't doing that. Yes, they were.
But we know. And so that's the part that that's always a situation where I'm like,
well, here's the thing. And you're absolutely right. And I tell my husband now, like, I mean, I don't have this issue with him, thank goodness. But I tell him now, I'm like, just like when a dude is up to something, I know when a chick is up to something. And she may be trying to get one over on you, but she sure ain't getting one over on me.
Pulling it on me. No, man.
Because I see exactly what she's doing. I said there's a lot of calculation that goes into that. Yes, there's a lot of calculation that goes into that. Right?
Come here, my puppies. Come on.
And I'm not, I pity the fool. I'm not the one to play with. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So how would you handle that though, Jess, if you've never had that situation before though? How do you think you would handle it? Would you be like, oh, I don't care?
She would care.
I mean, to me, I'm just like, I guess it boils down to being like a respect thing. So I'm like, I expect you to act.
Like just gonna be on the news. Me and Lena, we're the vocal ones, but just
is the silent but
silent but deadly. She gonna take you
out. But see, I'd have to really care about you because I've had people come at me about somebody I'm talking to, and I'm like, well, that's great for y'all. Have fun. Like, I'm not in the mood to fight you over nobody, and I don't want to go back and forth. So the fact that you came up in my face, I'm doing it anyway. So
yeah, but it's the ones that you care about that be trying to pull the dumbest stuff.
That pull the yeah.
It's the ones you care about. It's not the ones you don't care about, because I think half the time, if you don't really care about them like that, you ain't gonna notice.
You ain't tripping anyway.
You ain't tripping. You like, whatever. I ain't really worried about you. But it's the ones that you really care about. And I you know, it's no secret. I've been married a couple times. Okay. But these little girls be out here thinking they slick with it. And I kid you not, it's frustrating as a wife. Like, are you serious? Like, in my face right now? Like, you really trying to play in my face right now? Like, for real.
And don't let your husband be cute.
I don't care if he's ugly. They still gonna try it. It's gonna be some little ugly that's gonna come and try to get the other ugly. It's always
one thing I can say though, I noticed before my dad passed, a lot of women would try that with my dad, and I'm like, he got a wife and 4 daughters. Like,
they don't care.
Why are you?
Peep game, but
they don't care.
They gonna try.
Sometimes it's a game.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I have a Navy friend who said that she got in trouble in the service for messing with somebody's husband. And the wife actually came to her. Wrong move, really, though. Instead of going to, like, when it came to that, he has a commitment to the wife. He doesn't have she has take this back. He has a commitment to the wife. And so that needed to be honored, but she went after the girlfriend, and then the girlfriend clapped back and did all it. Well, that's why he with me and he not with you and all that kind of. But that's that young, you know what I'm saying? So
I have had to deal with that.
Yeah. So that's
sad to say.
That's a rough, you know what I mean? That's a rough one right there. At that point,
it don't go over well.
It doesn't, because it makes him totally, you chose that? That's what you chose over me? But okay. You know what I mean? But yeah. Never ever had any other situations like that. But that one thing did. I was like, we don't put people in the cars like that.
No, I feel like there should have been communication there. I feel like if you had known, maybe you'd have been like, well, okay, I get it.
And let me shut the door.
Oh, the tea is about to be spilled, y'all.
So
pinkies up.
No, it was just like, it was. The thing is that.
Why are you whispering? You know he's going to watch the episode.
I know. But the thing is that this chick got multiple dudes. So when you know the chick be getting around and be doing stuff on the sly, that kind of thing makes it a little more like, and you living with one dude, but you kicking it with his friend that lives in another state when you go home. Like, and the family up there knows. Like, it's a whole, so I'm like, you hella fucking messy. You know what I'm saying? So to me, in my head, if you messy like that, you just messy. And I don't want you nowhere around because
take you for the one of the dudes when they come to take her out.
Well, the thing is that like I said,
just about right.
Women know what they're doing. Men are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things women be doing. So for somebody to be, oh, that's not like how it was for you. For you, it wasn't.
My dad always said, "You never know what the other person's motives are. That may be how you feel, but you don't know how that other person feels."
And the thing is, the person doesn't drive. Oh yeah, well, how they been getting back to work for the last 10 years?
So do they catch the bus, Uber? Because they need to keep on catching it.
No, whoever was picking them up need to come on and keep doing that. That's what need to keep happening. And I don't care that you go by their street. That's not your way home. You don't take that left right there. So
I had someone tell my husband, "Oh, I just need a friend." I said, "You tell her if she wants a friend, she better go call Jesus and get on that prayer hotline and don't be calling you."
She better go to a meetup. She better get in a Facebook group. Better get in a Facebook group. She better get in some group therapy, whatever that's called. But you don't.
But you ain't coming up. Don't be calling up over here.
That's what
you need a friend. You better go phone somebody else. You ain't all the people that you work with. You ain't got a friend. Girl, bye.
That's what. And I was
like, girls be trifling.
And I'm like, the thing is that there's another guy that they work with that comes the same direction. She wasn't asking his ass for no ride home. Why? Because Cleon or whatever wasn't entertaining that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's not the way it goes. So no, not at all.
So how do you navigate your friendships that are like that? Like Kealah, because you said you had other like male friends and stuff like that. So how do you navigate? Like, what are the boundaries? Or is it just kind of an understood thing?
I guess it's kind of just understood. Like,
and are they friends from before Jordan or? Oh, okay. Because that's different though. Because if you just
have friends from before, I have friends from after, but at the same time, it's like it's all respect. You know what I mean? Like, and if I ever feel like somebody was getting out of pocket, I'm the one to say,
Yes.
And I'll tell my husband about it. I'm like, babe. You know, but we keep good communication like that. And he's the same, he's the same. I hope he's the same. He's the same. Right. Well, I never had no issues with him, so we're the same. We talk about a lot of stuff. But I also talk about my husband a lot. So I think that's pretty annoying to any guy who
it's a deterrent.
I just love him.
I do too.
So I really feel like I talk about him all the time. So I really feel like it's a deterrent to anybody who really thought they was going to think like this girl love her husband too much. Like she ain't right. And I'm not.
Right. Well, the lady knows me. And she was like, "Oh, it wasn't like that. I have so much respect for you." And I'm just like,
you know what? That whole sentence right there just really irked my nerves because please don't. You're gonna be over here sounding like Michael Jackson.
You wouldn't be doing it.
Please don't hit me with the I respect me. I respect the sanctity of marriage and all that other nonsense. Me. But you over here getting secret rides. Like, shut up. Mm-hmm. I think that people definitely need to know where you stand in your relationship, and people will only do what you allow them to do.
Correct.
So if you allowing somebody to get up in your car, it's because you allowed them in there. They didn't just magically appear. I don't know what happened. No, magically you let them in.
No.
Yes, literally, like you let them in. So it's just,
Yeah. I mean, I've been told, oh, you remember that lady? Yeah, her tire went out and I had to go out there and I helped her change her tire. Okay. Then why can't I know when you giving somebody a ride then? So, like I said, it has not happened since.
Probably because he knew you was finna flip out.
But isn't that the entire point though?
Yep.
I mean, I'm just saying, isn't that the entire point? If you already know, then why are you doing it?
Was it supposed to be a short-term thing or long-term?
It was going on for like 3 weeks. But she's worked at the job and she doesn't drive. She worked at the job much longer than him. And she's been getting a ride from her child, from whomever. So I'm like, why don't you continue that? Just because my husband is going that way.
You've been working at that job that long and you buy yourself a car and get a driver's license. Like,
well, now there's an old lady, some old Jamaican lady that lives literally down the street from us. And he used to be like, oh, I'm going to give, Miss So-and-so a ride home. I was like, oh, that old ass woman, that's fine. But you telling me about her. But you're not telling me about
old girl.
Other old girl right there.
Oh, weeble wobble down the street.
Who is loose.
Mm-hmm.
When you got somebody that's loosey-goosey like that, and I mean, I hate to say it like that, but when you got two boyfriends or whatever you doing, that's in 2 different states that don't know about each other.
I just want to zoom in.
One knows about the one in here, but the one here doesn't know about the one there. Put it that way. So, Jessica, heed our lessons.
Come on, Jess.
If it smells like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like that duck,
baby, it is a duck.
I don't care. I don't fall for that Eddie Murphy. Wasn't me, but I seen you. It wasn't me, but I saw you with that. It wasn't me. Yes, it was.
That old Shaggy.
But Jessica's pretty smart though. Yeah, she's smart. She catch him in there.
Oh, okay, but we ain't talking about Jess or any of us here. We're talking about these men. I'm gonna need these men to smarten up and keep their eyes peeled.
If you just happy to get some attention because your ass is older, you know what I'm saying, and now you hitting that little midlife, whatever it is you going through.
What was you gonna say, Jess?
Oh, I was gonna say, has it ever been a situation like either you were in or like the other person, and maybe like it was an assumption that something was going on? Like, how some people be jealous because they don't know the actual relationship.
Well, here's the thing that I say. If you're in a committed relationship with somebody, that type of stuff should not be a secret relationship, period. If there's a secret relationship, you're keeping it secret for a reason. Whether you have designs or the other person has designs, or you think the person you're with is going to get upset, but there's a reason why you're not. It doesn't just slip your mind. You make a conscious effort to not say, oh, how was your day? Oh, good. On the way home, or I gave so-and-so. That's natural conversation. But if
that's not something you leave out. I will say
not.
That. Like, we, as a husband and wife, you talk all the time.
Right.
Even if he's going to the grocery store. If he has to take a dump, he's telling you about it. Like, it's not.
Like, for real, though.
My liver hurts. They're telling you about it.
Everything.
So every little thing they tell you about. So when you don't, if you start skipping stuff, then you have something to hide because you're worried about that person's reaction or what they're going to say, or they don't want you doing it, or they tell
there's something, whatever that is, that thing is doing. You know what I mean? And I don't. Go ahead.
Oh, because I always think about that with me and my best friend, like how that's gonna work when one of us gets married. We've always had situations where like it's girls who are interested in him, and then they feel some type of way because we would always
giving Dawson's Creek. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Dawson's Creek. Oh my God,
Joey. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Be prepared, okay? and prepare him, because you guys will not be able to have that type of friendship no more. Period. Because guess what? His wife is his new best friend. And if you
Right.
a girl and you're over there trying to be his best friend, he's gonna have to with his wife. I'm gonna tell you that now. Here's the other thing, Jess. Like the guy that the whole way I met my husband that I'm with now, I met him through a mutual friend. That mutual friend was my best friend. We used to talk every day, all day. Like that was my bestie. We go out, hang out together. I talk to him maybe once every blue moon now. I mean, he's married now too. I still talk to him from time to time, but we're not like we used to be.
Right.
Yeah, we're still friends, and when we all get together, yes, it's a good time, but
right.
I barely talk to him ever.
Right.
Because that was how I had to do the other one y'all were talking about that got married.
Right.
He used to be the type, he would drive just because he could at night. So he would call me and just be driving, but I'm like, now that you're in this new, situation, you don't do that. Call her,
instead.
Don't call me.
Right.
We can still have a friendship, but it's got to change.
It's right. The dynamics have to change to be respectful of the person that he's or they're with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yep. Right. Yeah, I would never
no bueno.
Just have somebody, just like over my or in my house or in my presence or in my vehicle, like some random guy that my husband just doesn't.
I ain't giving no guy no rights, no how. Anyway, no.
I just don't.
By myself.
Right, and just as a woman, anyway, it's not something I would really do. But guys are different, and they don't always read the signals properly. We know that we're not going to ask a guy that we not going to get anything out of, right? We're going to ask a guy that we know that we're going to be able to manipulate and be able to extort whatever out of, right?
It's
just how women are. I mean, just think about it, though. That's how we are.
Somebody who's going to say yes.
We're not going to ask somebody we know ain't going to give us the time of day. We're going to ask somebody that we know kind of is soft on us or will do us a solid, or you know what I'm saying?
That's guys too. Guys do the same thing.
But that's yes, exactly right. We know who to ask. We know who to target. But yeah, no, I don't. And if that's the thing, if that's what you want to do, then guess what? I'm not the one for you, because I don't do that kind of stuff. They tell you everything. So right. I mean, like, bleh, right?
Listen to what you got to look forward to, Jess.
Dude, they tell you stuff
you didn't even ask. Stuff you don't want to.
I'm like, why are you telling me this?
That part.
So with that, when they stop telling you and that trap is closed,
like something, what's up?
There's an issue. Just like when you got kids and they hella quiet, they getting into some stuff, right? It's the same kind of thing.
And she just go sip her water. And on that note, she gonna sip her water.
I'm just saying. I mean,
so we decided that it's wise and not jealousy.
It's prudent. It's being mindful. It's being observant, right? Because the last thing you want is that secretary. No, right? Like waiting to exhale, that secretary don't become the main boo right there, So I mean, stuff happens.
I'm not lighting nobody's car on fire.
If need be.
With all they stuff in it.
If need be, like that, bitch. Actually, I like the idea better that she sold everything off. That was better.
Oh yeah.
And then burned the rest, which you can't sell.
She did. I'll never forget that. That Angela Bassett, she played that role. Okay.
I have we have a mutual, my husband's friend. He broke up with his girlfriend, and I didn't know mustard can't come out of stuff. She took mustard and squeezed it all over his stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah." He was like, "Look, at least I got my clippers." Until he picked them up, cut the cord.
And the Petty Betty Boots Award goes to she cut the cord.
Clippers, but she got
You got your clippers, but you ain't finna use them, bidet. Period.
Petty Betty, yes.
Love it.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you something. Okay. It's not even a story. I have been told, like I really didn't realize this, that I'm petty. My husband told me, Kealah your face.
I mean, Jessica's like,
I win, I win, I win, I win, I win, I win, I win. I win. He was like, I could have told you that. I was like, am I really? He was just like, man, let me count the ways.
It's bad. You know who else says I win now? My daughter comes in and tells me, I win. She heard you saying it. So she goes, I win.
Lena and Lena, we two peas. We 3,000 miles apart and we still winning.
Hashtag winning.
Ladies, I cried I mean, like a full-hearted, like I did not expect. Vindictive, maybe. Spiteful, maybe. But petty is not the word that I would have. And everybody agreed. And I just felt like, well, damn, I guess I'm petty.
My husband calls himself Tom Petty. He's like, you're right. My name is Tom and my last name is Petty. I'm Tom Petty. I was like, I'm crying. Both y'all, petty is all get out. Petty.
Okay, so I've had a come to moment that yes, to the realization that I'm petty. Sorry.
Well, the first step is acknowledging. And
that's the first step. The first 12 steps of realizing that you're petty. You a petty Betty.
It's a lifestyle. Just embrace it.
It is it's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole life. Now that I think back, it's a whole lifestyle. Wow.
The pettiness.
I can't believe I just realized this at 53.
Petty boots.
It's never too late to start to keep learning and just to learn something new.
And learning is half the battle. The more you know. The little star that comes up. The more you know.
Yes, but now I will say though, back to the topic, when I was younger, I used to have a lot of guy friends. I never got along with women so well. And I think when you're younger, you're hella catty and all that. So I always dealt better with guys, but I think it was because they probably all trying to do all that cookie stuff. But as I've been older and stuff, it's been more women and just not as many guys, just because.
Well, yeah, when you're I have more girlfriends now than I did before because you're married now, so it's like
right.
You don't really have guy friends because guy friends still catch feelings.
That's what I always but I would feel funny like.
Even girlfriends though, if your husband has girlfriends catch feelings too.
Okay, so let me ask this though. Okay, so when you've had close friends and even if it's another woman though, do you tell them about the situations going on in your house?
Absolutely not.
Because I almost feel like and that sounds
yes and no. It depends. I'm very selective about what I tell people.
Okay.
I don't tell them. Well, honestly, me and Jordan, we really don't have anything going on anyway.
Right.
We're that old, boring couple. We're just a good match. But I've learned you really can't tell people stuff that you have going on in your household. And I was telling somebody this the other day. I'm like, keep your friends out your business because it causes problems in more ways than one.
That's why I was asking, because it seems like I have in the past to one particular friend, and I just don't anymore. Some stuff happened where I just don't feel as comfortable or forthright, and I know she'll never say anything that I told her or nothing like that, but it just doesn't feel, I don't ever, and I don't know why I feel this way. Maybe it's the insecurity, but I feel like when you give two people too much access or privy information about your man, that opens up a door for them to want to find the fuck out.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Am I being too?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
I've learned from the past, not in this particular marriage, but again, the first time I got married around, I found out the hard way. And it's like, that's why I don't.
But it's like, who do you vent to then? Like, honestly, then who do you vent to? So for example, if you had if you had an issue with Jordan and you were just, I just got to vent. Like, who do you talk to?
I talk to
him.
Yeah, I do. I tell him if he does something I don't particularly care for, and I'll tell him that I don't like that. I'll fuss at him. Not like fuss at him, like, what you mean, but we talk about it. And I think, has it taken years to get to that?
Because I'm not there yet. So I'm like amazed.
It's taken a long time to get there, but I had to understand his communication style and he had to understand mine.
Right.
And it's done out of love and respect for each other.
Right.
Because honestly, I don't want my friends looking at him like, just because I was mad at that time.
Right.
Something. I don't want my friends to look at him a certain way because he's a good guy. We just, just getting
fell out that one. Right.
He was getting on my nerves. And every husband gets on their wife's nerves. Feel like you think that you're an angel to your spouse. I hate to break it.
No, not at all.
You're not. You just called my ass last nerve.
No, not at all.
I even tell him, I'm like, I love you, but you be getting on my nerves. But but I do talk to him and he talks to me. We don't say things to hurt each other like that. That was earlier on.
Right.
Now that we've gotten older and just, I think
it takes a level of emotional maturity though to reach that though.
It's not make or break stuff. Now the thing, and you have to figure out what's a make or break for your relationship. Like for me, if you cheat on me, that's a break it.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to be dealing with that. I don't want to deal with that. But if it's just some like petty stuff, it's like I should be able to talk to you about whatever. And if I feel like am I going to remember this from 10 years from now? Is it going to put a dent in our relationship? Is it going to be, you know what I mean? Like if it's not any of those things, then I feel like we should be able to be mature enough to talk about it together.
Right.
That's true. Try to come up with some type of solution, because venting to me, all I'm going to do is I'm still going to be irritated at you if we don't try to solve this or figure it out, or I don't voice my opinion to you.
Right.
Oh yeah.
What do you think, Jessie? I'm kind of thinking along the same lines as Kealah. Like, you can't tell, like you said, you can't tell everybody everything. Better to either talk to them or just go to therapy, I guess. Because to me, if you're to your family, because they're still gonna be mad.
And right.
To your friends, like she said, then they'll feel some type of way.
Right.
Yeah.
People gonna be looking at you crazy, like, or looking at him like,
I can't believe he that or you
did that. And it's like, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. He ain't cheating on me. He ain't beating on me. He ain't being
right.
He's just getting on my nerves right now. People tend to take things and they want to say like little slip remarks, or they want to, and it's like, no, don't do that. And even when my friends tell me stuff, I don't form opinions about their spouses or whatever. I just listen supportively and be like, whatever.
Right.
I'm still, as long as he ain't doing nothing that's abusive,
detrimental.
As long as he's not doing something that's abusive, then it's like, okay.
Right.
But I just be like, that's just marital stuff. Y'all need to figure out how to work
just
that
asking
out.
how, you know what I mean? So get on my nerves, and I don't really want to talk to. So I do Kealah's best friend. I'm over there with Chatty Cathy. Chatty and I had some conversations. Now, I mean, not him, just in general. You know what I mean? Like I use it a lot to bounce stuff off of, because sometimes I want some objectivity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you talk to somebody, you know they're going to have an opinion because they know the person or they know a situation. So it's nice I like it to be objective.
And not only that, but you also, whenever you're telling somebody your business, even though you run the risk of them telling other people your business.
And that's
you don't know.
And that's definitely right.
And they'll be like, girl, don't say nothing, but I was talking to so and so and they said blah 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 blah.
And you don't want happening,
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just asking, but yeah.
Well, yes, I do.
But yeah. So I guess we kind of went full circle with the topic, right? We kind of went and came back around and talked to it. But
I feel like this is a conversation that needed
to but it is. You know, when you're married and you're almost this is not the right word, so I'm going to say pigeonholed. I was going to say pigeonholed, but that's not the right word that I'm trying to use. I was going to say you're kind of limited in who you're able to actually talk to and vent to, and that's not going to come back and have an opinion that's going to come back to bite you and spread it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a real thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like as women, who do we talk to? That's why they say the guys were always over here and chicken headed and clucking and talking to each other. We're probably talking about them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I don't like to gossipy like that. So I'll use my AI. Somebody in China or Russia is gonna hear about my husband.
Like, they're gonna be like, this girl's really going through it. And this week on the Lena chat, what's going on in this house?
Right. So, but yeah. Good topic, though. This was a good question. This was a good one.
It was a really good question. I hope it helps somebody who's out there in their relationship, and you get a woman's perspective on things, and I'd love to hear some guys' opinions on stuff.
It was a good talk. I need it.
We
need it. I think we need it. We need it.
Shall see you next week. Next week. Same time. That channel. Next week. You ain't got your own beat. All right. Bye, y'all.